With the release of Citadel de More, the fans have been calling this one of the best maps, and I believe the game itself is one of the best zombies games ever. But what if Black Ops 6 could become the standard for future installments? Here are 15 changes that I believe could take this game from an A tier to an S tier. No perk limit in this game is great, but it can make the grind of high rounds feel super tedious. To fully set up, you need to spend 14,000 on tier 3 armor, 50,000 to fully pack a punch one weapon, and another 40,000 to get all of your perks. This adds up to 104,000 or 154,000 if you're pack-a-punching 2 weapons. Reducing one of these costs could improve the flow of the maps, especially the cost of perks. Since perk prices increase by 500 each time, capping the price at 4,500 would reduce the total cost of perks from 44,000 to 40,000. This change would currently save 4,000, which is close to a tier 1 pack-a-punch, and would make the system more sustainable long term, especially as more perks are added. Now, this is something I have been preaching to the choir in my last 2 videos and will continue to do so. Many others and I love the augment system as it makes grinding maps feel more rewarding. However, I think they should take this a step further and increase the augment system from 1 major and 1 minor to 1 major and 2 minor. Instead of focusing on new perks, they should invest time in adding more augments so that this suggestion could work. This would turn bad into good and good into great, since you have to play for these. It would feel rewarding as it would be something earned through playing the game and not given to you for free, and would open up a variety of different combinations that could enhance different playstyles. Field upgrades specialise in specific purposes but remain versatile. For example, Healing Aura is primarily used to revive or restore health, but can stun and knock down enemies, while Frenzied Guards protects you and your teammates. However, Dark Flare tries to do everything but fails miserably. Its unreliable hitbox makes reviving teammates nearly impossible, and Healing Aura does that job much better. Killing zombies with it is so painfully slow, making Energy Mine a far better alternative. I would suggest a rework that could make it function like the Staff of Ra from Black Ops 4. When activated, Dark Flare could create a purple circle that slows enemies inside while dealing damage over time. It could also initiate a revive on downed teammates within its radius. This change would give Dark Flare a unique slowing effect and other benefits, helping it stand out. Something the community has been asking for, and the only really thing holding Citadel back is the swords. Not how you obtain them or their abilities, but their base attack. The base attack only kills 1 zombie at a time, making it extremely risky in high rounds. There's Melee Macchiato augment that allows punches to hit multiple enemies, but this doesn't apply to melee weapons. And I don't understand why, as no one uses the punch from the perk other than the Easter egg step on Citadel. And the only time I trigger it is when I'm trying to equip a melee weapon and accidentally punch instead. Changing this augment to work with any melee weapon would be a win-win. The situational perk would become more useful, the camo grind for weapons like baseball bat and knife would be slightly easier, and the swords would be far more reliable in high rounds. This change would benefit both campers and those like myself who prefer to train. One of the biggest buffs and quality of life changes they could make is increasing the point melee kills grant. Currently, melee kills give you 105 points, while critical kills grant 115. If melee kills awarded 115 points, it would encourage more players to rely on melee weapons instead of buying ammo crates. Personally, I don't even consider using melee weapons when I'm out of ammo because the risk is too high compared to the reward. This change would buff the swords and make the grind slightly easier, as you'd spend less money on ammo crates and gain more from using your melee weapon. The camo grind is another area that does need improvement. Getting gold on weapons is fun and the challenge never feels overly repetitive. However, grinding for the opal camo on every weapon is so tedious that I dread loading up a game to work on it. Requiring 30 special zombie kills for every single weapon is excessive. The opal camo should be challenging, but there's a difference between a fun hard and a boring hard, and this grind leans heavily towards the latter. My suggestion is to reduce the requirement for certain weapon types. For melee, pistols, RPGs and special weapons, the kill count could be halved to 15. This adjustment would maintain the difficulty while shifting the grind towards fun hard. The Gobblegum system could also use improvement. The main issue is the lack of classic Gobblegums, those that can be used infinitely without running out. Not having these reduces how often I use Gobblegums overall. In Black Ops 3, I'd always equip 1 or 2 classic Gobblegums, which made me spin the machine every chance I got, but without them, I barely touch it. These Gobblegums don't need to be great, but simply just having them would encourage more usage. at the very least, whimsicals should be infinite use. They don't provide any gameplay advantage, they're just fun extras you might use occasionally. Something I noticed while playing older maps is how often their voice lines would reference the story and reveal the character's feelings. In Black Ops 3 we got to see the character's personality through their dialogue and the map's events. Lines like,
"Better tomorrow is only possible if we blow away the ashes of the past."
or
If someone's gotta take him out to save the universe, then it should be me that does it.
really stood out. In this game, we barely get that. Maya, while having some corny voice lines, is my favourite character because Terminus revolves around her brother. She has the most to say about that, but characters like Carver barely speak, and Grey only has 1 or 2 voice lines at the end of each cutscene. I wish we could hear more of their personalities and feelings through the voice lines, as it would help us connect with the crew. I've already touched on higher rounds, but they deserve their own section. High rounds in this game, while fun, feel really cheesy. Once you hit the 30s, the game spawns about 5 special zombies and 1 to 2 elite zombies. This drains all your ammo and makes high rounds less enjoyable compared to how they used to be. I would reduce this to 2 special zombies and 1 elite, with 5 special zombies and 2 elites spawning in the 50s. This suggestion is for solo play, but it is an even bigger issue in co-op. I've only played with 1 other person and I can't imagine how infuriating it must be with more players. One thing that instantly elevates Citadel above recent zombies maps is that it doesn't take place in a government facility. What made the older games stand out was their unique setting, like battlefields or Alcatraz, which made the maps feel like a genuine zombie outbreak had occurred. In contrast, the repetitive use of government facilities in recent maps diminishes the fight for your life immersion that defined the older maps. Introducing maps set in a variety of locations such as Germany or Scotland can significantly enhance the player's experience and elevate a map's overall appeal. In a previous video, I praised Treyarch for rewarding players who complete Easter eggs. However, I believe they could take this one step further. Treyarch has implemented super Easter eggs in Black Ops 3 and Cold War, so it wouldn't be surprising if they did the same for this game. That said, smaller incentives to encourage players to complete Easter eggs would make a big difference. For example, Treyarch could reward players for completing an Easter egg on one map by granting a bonus in the next map. If you complete the Terminus Easter egg, your starting weapon on Citadel could have a green rarity. If you complete the Terminus Easter egg, your starting weapon on Citadel could have a green rarity. While not mandatory, features like this would help more casual players feel motivated to tackle Easter eggs and explore the mode more deeply. One of the best maps, Shadows of Evil, has one major flaw. It can't be fully completed solo. This limitation also affects games like Black Ops 2, making them less replayable without friends and ultimately hurting the game's longevity. In contrast, games like Black Ops 4, Cold War and Black Ops 3 maps benefit greatly from this feature as the replayability skyrockets when solo completion is an option. If Treyarch continues this trend, Black Ops 6 could offer some of the best replayability in the franchise. Black Ops 3 has the most replayable zombies mode, and while much of this comes from maps, a missed feature in recent COD titles is the custom map support on PC. Some of the most fun maps come from the Steam Workshop, which has kept the zombies player base alive, especially when recent COD titles have been disappointments. Now, don't get me wrong, if this feature doesn't get added, I wouldn't mind. However, if it does, it could help keep the players active by allowing them to play remastered versions of, let's say, Mob of the Dead or Origins on the new Black Ops 6 engine. In my previous videos, I didn't address something that felt more like an overall game issue rather than a map dependent one. The mystery box feels kind of useless now. Starting with whatever weapon you want and going straight for the wonder weapon is pretty much all you need. I rarely hit the box compared to games like Black Ops 2. The way I would fix this is by allowing the box to use your weapon attachments. For example, if I have a loadout for a specific weapon but don't equip it as my starting weapon, I should still get those attachments when I pull that weapon from the mystery box. Of course, you wouldn't get all attachments immediately. For a grey weapon, you might get 1 or 2. With a legendary version, you'd get all the attachments equipped for that weapon. But this would give more players an incentive to use the mystery box. Last but not least, what should Treyarch do to maintain their reputation? They need to stop using AI in their promotional material and just in general. It's mind-blowing that people are losing their jobs and those who still have them aren't being allowed to be creative and artistic, all because of an AI image generator that can't even give people 5 fingers. This isn't a small indie company forced to cut costs, it's a studio owned by Microsoft, one of the biggest companies in the world. Surely there is a better alternative, and I'll tell you what it is. Hire your artists back. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you think there's something Treyarch should add, or if you disagree with any of the suggestions throughout the video, let me know in the comments. I'll reply to everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.